Some common industry risks in landscaping are not focusing on water and how rainwater and meltwater interact with the site, not installing a proper base, and we see a lot of our competitors using very cheap materials, thin pavers, big box store materials that don't hold up over time. So we often are invited in to repair or replace work from other companies. So I do about 300 consultations a year, and in that I'm visiting people at their sites, whether that's their home or their small business, and in that work I get to hear a lot of stories of what happens with other contractors. And some of the common red flags are contractors will provide an estimate without ever visiting the site. They'll want to do a plan without a design. They won't provide a written scope. Other big red flags include contracts that are not very clear or well written. And so we avoid those by having clear communications with our clients, meeting on site every time before we even begin a design, just so that clients can get to know our company before they start down the path. So common mistakes that we see in the industry are improperly installed base. That will lead to water issues, undermining the base, patios getting divots or bumps in them over time. Other common mistakes include not using plants that are suited for Minnesota. I think the thing that sets us apart is that we tend to focus on native plants. We can use some non-native plants that are very hardy here, but almost entirely our designs are made up of native plants. Those native plants can make it through Minnesota winters, they thrive with the conditions that we have all season long, and they fill in the spaces in a way that helps prevent weeds and lower maintenance. When I'm talking with clients, I'll talk with about 300 clients a year, and every single one of them, almost to a one, will request a low maintenance landscape. When I dig in a little further, I find that most folks kind of by that mean no maintenance. Now, I really like to help people understand that there's no such thing as a no maintenance landscape, but we reduce maintenance by making sure that we're installing correctly, we're focusing on soil health, we're using native plants, and we're, with our hardscapes, making bases that are well installed, a 6-inch deep gravel base. We don't cheap out on the project, on the products that we're using. We use products that are well suited for Minnesota, thick patio pavers, heavy duty retaining wall blocks, lumber that's suitable for being outdoors in Minnesota, composite products. We tend to avoid products that are plastic or vinyl or cheap or thin, and instead we use products that will last over time. Questions that every client should be asking of their landscapers: what does the maintenance look like next year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years out? How long should I expect this to last? What are you doing to mitigate water running through the site? How deep is the base for your patio or walkway? What are you doing to alleviate hydrostatic pressure or water pressure in the retaining walls? How long can I expect my deck or my fence to last? How are your fence and deck footings made? Are they made with concrete? These are some of the questions that clients should be asking of all landscape companies. Our goal is to make the process calm, easy, and predictable. We start with an on-site consultation so that clients can really get to know us, and in that consultation, I always hope that clients have a lot of questions for me, and I'll have a few basic questions for clients too, in an attempt to understand what people's long-term goals are, what their short-term goals are, and what they really need to get from each project.